everybody, welcome back to Retro Magazines and Patterns. My name is Sophie, and today I have a McCall's Needlework and Crafts. This one is from June of 1988. So I know we're coming up on June. In fact, by the time you guys see this, it'll probably be June. So we're right on schedule with this. But there's some really cute things in here. I'm excited to share with you guys. So let's get into it. First thing I see is this really cute pastel colored Red Heart Super Saver ad. I don't know about any of you out there, but I am definitely a fan of budget friendly yarns, and Red Heart is one of my favorites. It's a classic. I make a lot of toys, like amigurumi style things. I knit and crochet them, and I can afford to make all the things with all the colors with the help of budget yarns like that. So, and you'd be surprised, some of them are quite soft. So over here we have our contents, and you get a little sneak peek there. But we recently reviewed a McCall's Needlework and Crafts and saw that for some reason they are putting some of the patterns up front, and it looks like they're doing it with this one as well. So I will try to pop up some of these pictures as we go through in the beginning so that you kind of get an idea of what these patterns are for. But this one is the pink pullover. And so it's just these two columns for that one. And this one is the checked purse. They're not even really putting them in page order, so I'm not really sure why they're putting what they're putting where. Maybe it's just a space issue. But this one is the checked purse. And then we have a Copacabana beach coat. So I'm getting excited by the names of some of these. I just don't know what to expect. When we see it, we'll see it. So here's the Copacabana beach coat continued, and then it ends over here, and then to the Guernsey Afghan. The Afghan continues all the way to here, so these two pages is the remainder of that. And then we have a crew sweater, a sleeveless cardigan, and I think this one's coming up soon. It says page 22. Reader of the Year, Charlotte Souders. And then here's a surplus wrap pullover. So that one's coming up soon as well. That's on page 23. These sweaters are really cute. So if you love a good kind of feminine coquette style, you're going to really love these. Here is an ad for Country Knits. I don't have any of these books yet. Been keeping my eyes out for them. I try not to buy all my things online, so I'm trying to find these out in the wild, as it were. But they have some really cool designs. I've seen inside of them, like flipped through them before, but those are neat books to keep an eye out for. Whoops, sorry. Here we have Country Store Dolls, an American tradition. So these look like just advertising, like vintage advertising mascots. So you have the Morton Salt Girl, the little Dutch boy, Fisk Tires. I'm not familiar with him, but cute. Here we have the pattern, I'm sorry, for the Spectator, and then a striped sunglass case, and this is the entirety of that sunglass case. Irish crochet yoke, and that does go all the way to here. And then it looks like we are going to get a pattern for some slippers, crocheted slippers up to here. And then, so you can see, like I mentioned before, we have page 50, page 20, page 31. So they're kind of all over the board here. Here is the pink crocheted camisole, and that's going to be on the next page. There we have it. So, like I said, these are really beautiful little pieces. This is so cute. It's so pretty. I love these little, they're like polka dot baubles. It looks like a Swiss dot kind of pattern. It's really pretty. I love it. It's so lovely. And this is really cute. This looks like it would work up really quick. It would be really comfortable to wear in the summer. And I love the little rosette in the middle there. Oh, I'm right. See the dotted Swiss. So they are making this to look like a Swiss dot pattern. So very cute. And then we saw this one earlier. That's a really pretty sleeveless cardigan. It's such a lovely, it's got like some 1940s vibe. I don't know if it's because I'm looking at the gloves or not, but it's very lovely, pretty texture. And then this one, how lovely is that? You have the tiny little like pointel in it, this lovely little neckline, and then the waist right there. It's so pretty. This one I'm definitely gonna pop up at the end for you guys because I just think it's so pretty. Oh, and then we have these gorgeous little pieces here. I love the use of rosettes, so I'm really excited to see that they added them in several of the patterns in this issue. And then this piece right here is so pretty. I really love that. It's very retro. It looks really simple, and that color is so pretty. So I'm going to put this pattern up at the end for you guys too, because it just is so lovely. Oh, look at this. So pretty. I just love it. That color, the little bow at the top. And then this set right here, it has like a matching skirt with the top. That is really pretty too. If you look close, you'll see there's like a moss stitch hem. And then it's just, I don't know, that butter yellow is just really, I like it. Over here we have the subject is roses. So it looks like there are some embroidered roses on some, plain simple black pieces. This one looks like it may have some ribbon knitted into it. So just really pretty kind of like, I guess you'd call these evening pieces. And see the addition of the cats sheet music in the background because that was all the rage at this time. Okay, so this must be the Copacabana beach coat. That's really pretty. And then we have that crocheted Irish yoke right there in all the different colors. And that's gorgeous. Or maybe this is the Copacabana beach coat, I think. And how pretty is that? I love that it's kind of like a swing coat design, and those embroidered flowers look to be embroidered with like that dyed straw raffia material. So that's really neat. And then this is really pretty. I really like this. If you saw on my channel a few weeks ago, I guess at this point, I recently reviewed a book on floral knit sweaters, and I could see that being right in there. Oh, that's so cute. I love the colors and the textures on that. That's really simple but really fun. That's a really nice piece. And then these are really fun. I mean, nothing outrageous, the striped sweater, but it's a classic. And then this one's really interesting. You've got the buttons on it and that checkerboard effect. And that looks to be crocheted. Is it? No, that's knit, like a garter stitch. Here is that spectator sweater. We saw the pattern for that earlier, but it's a really neat looking sweater. This whole outfit is kind of giving me like Pretty Woman vibes. So I don't know if I'm the only one out there thinking that, but it's nice. Here we have the Rosebud Beach Jacket. And this is the one. You know what? I'm going to pop up the correct pictures with the between this one and the Copacabana Beach Jacket because I think I'm confusing them and I don't want to confuse them too much. So but that's the pattern for the Rosebud Beach Jacket. Here we have the Floral Filet Coverlet, and we did not get to that yet. The camisole from page 19, the floral intarsia top. I believe that was the one that we saw that was just like a simple short sleeve sweater. Yeah, right here with those bright tropical flowers on it. Then we have these are the toddler and child's dresses. We saw those already. They had the pretty little rosettes on them. Here is a knit tugboat toy. We haven't seen that yet. It's coming up. The rose comb. That looks very simple. Then we have the twin sets here. I think that was the blue one. That was really gorgeous. I love that. So over here we have, like, you have these little duck rompers. So those are coming up here soon. Knit duck toy. And look how pretty this needlework is right here with the peonies. That's really lovely. And I even like how they did the vase with the water in it and the difference. That's neat. Okay, so here we have some really pretty little Afghans. This one's, yeah, I really like this one. I like that they have like this lattice design, but also this like kind of see-through, almost gives you like a woven cane appearance with the flowers and the florals. It's really a pretty piece. And this one looks squishy. It's got a lot of texture. They could definitely see some garter stitches in there, and not smocking, but just some neat kind of, gives a lot of interest. And you can see the tapestry up here again, kind of giving you like a further away view of it. So over here we have some quilting, and these are really cute. This one with the mice and the muffins, it's really cute. And this looks to be like a measuring post for your little one. And then how plush does this baby quilt look? Ugh, geez, oh man, that looks so squishy. And then you even have some little like wall hangy pieces. This one says, Mousy Muffin Muffin Mouse in your little muffin house. Berries at your windowsill, sugar around your feet. Are you trying to tell me that my life will be as sweet? That's really cute. So you have almost like a whole nursery theme right here with these mouse muffin pieces. And then over here we have some floral embroidery, or this looks like cross stitch, and these are really pretty. I know I've mentioned it before. I'm sure it's of no surprise to anybody, but I love a good floral print. Very, I guess if you want to call it, my aesthetic is very feminine and floral. So these kind of things I always love. Here's a neat article. It's about twin brothers, Marvin and Morgan Smith, who do needlework, needlepoint. So you have some really cool crocheted slippers down here. And I believe we have the pattern for that. I will make sure to pop that up at the end because these are really interesting. And I think you guys would really enjoy making them. I might enjoy making them. So I'll put that up too. Here's that spread. Look at how cute this little sailor suit is. That's adorable. And then you have the little ducky romper. Here's that plush tugboat and the little plush goose that we saw the patterns for earlier. Ugh, I just love that little sailor outfit. So cute. Okay, here is a sewn kit. It's Old MacDonald, and all the pieces it looks like are made of felt. But that's a cute little play set there. And then here they have a contest for a teddy bear design. So it looks like they offer a first prize for knit and a first prize for crochet, second also for both. But these are really cute. And I don't know if anybody that's watching is a fan of Mr. Bean. I love Mr. Bean, and this reminds me of Teddy, his teddy bear. So here they have some tie-dye patterns, which is kind of neat. It looks like, yeah, they're giving you the instructions on how to tie-dye. It's actually fun to look through this and see this now because it's summertime and tie-dye is fun to do when it's nice outside. My kids' birthdays are in June. And so sometimes it's something we like to do with them for like a birthday party. It just grab some, you could grab old clothes and just whatever. You have the materials, just make something out of them. Okay, so here is a fun spread called Caribbean Market. And for anybody who has ever been to the Caribbean, I'm sure you've enjoyed a Caribbean market and you've seen all the fun straw tote bags and hats and things like that. So they're going to give you some of that to make for yourself at home if this year is not going to afford you a trip to the Caribbean. And you notice some of the big sunglasses in there too. Here is Fabulous Fiesta. So they have some really cute place setting pieces here. They did the cups. They're a little difficult to see in this photo spread, but they are fish. Cross-stitched fish, and I believe they are the same pattern that we're seeing here on the little placemats that have the sewn-in napkin holder. So that's cute. Honestly, the food looks delicious, so it's making me want some tropical seafood dishes. But here, oh look, they give you the recipe. So there's red snapper with Caribbean sauce, sweet and spicy shrimp kebabs, rice and scallop salad with coconut cream dressing. That sounds really good. Let's see. So it's going to be white rice with fresh baked scallops, garlic, paprika. It looks like it calls for some peas, red onion, scallions, 2 oranges, and cilantro. There's some slivered almonds, tarragon, vinegar. I don't have that. Cream of coconut, Tabasco sauce, and dry mustard. That sounds really good. I might have to try that. I mean, obviously, if I can't find tarragon vinegar, I'm sure I can make it kind of easily. But I'll let you know if I give that a go, because that sounds really delicious. And I do like to cook, so I don't just knit and crochet, I promise. So here are the fish cross-stitch patterns, the more of those tropical spread pieces over here, the raffia embroidery. Needlework how-to, because there was quite a few pieces in here that had some needlework details on them. So this is always nice to see, especially if, you know, embroidery isn't something that you do a lot of. Here are these cute little mousy muffin pieces. So we have the cross-stitch pattern, the instructions with the key. It has all of the colors there. The growth chart, which was really sweet. Oh, and here we have like the beautiful quilt. There's the rest of the growth chart. I just thought that set was so cute. Oh, this is the quilt right here. That other one must have been the applique wall hanging piece. And then we have the duck quilt over here. So we did see that. That was with that really cute baby sailor costume or outfit. Turn these pages. Okay, so that was that yellow polo tunic with the skirt that we saw. That was really cute. So there's the pattern for that. Here's that felt farm. So if that's something you're interested in, the whole pattern instructions are right here. And it's got the backdrop, the pond right here. And here are all the cutout pieces. So you can make all the things in that farm. There's got to be another page of cutouts. So there were so many pieces to that. I guess not. Here we have the Kentucky Derby as shown on page 51. And then the flowered comb on 61. Here's the graph. And then we have the little hangers. And then here's some of the... this is a striped purse. I wish it was just all the things from one, one photo in one place, but it looks like they just kind of mixed some of them up. Here's that peony crewel work right here. So that was really pretty. They showed it a couple of times. Okay, and here we have, here's the flower sunglass case. We saw that. That was on page 61. But here are the graphs for the floral cross stitch that we saw with all of the colors. And the nice thing about these is there's not like a terrible amount of colors that you need, but you're still getting a really pretty piece. And then we have the roses over here. This is Morgan and Marvin. Those were the twins. They did the horse racing, the derby one, and the crocheted slippers. So that's the remainder of that article there. Okay, here is the crocheted contest bear. So they're giving you instructions here. And here is the knit bear over here. So these do use Red Heart Super Saver. Like I mentioned before, I really like making toys with those. And then here is the knit sailor suit. That was really cute. I thought that was adorable. The directions are for infant size 12 months. So there is just Spanish bolero and camisole. Debutante blouse. That was on page 25. Purple cosmetic case, page 61. Gingham top on page 35. Camisole with roses. So that was from that, I think that fancy black and red spread that we saw with the cats sheet music in the background. And that is the end of the patterns there, I believe. And then there are a few ads, not as many as in some of the other older magazines, but they do have a few in here. Here's a craft projector. So they usually have instructions on how to enlarge patterns in magazines, but not, you could go and get fancy and get one of these craft projectors. That is really kind of neat. I wonder if I'd ever find one of those. I would probably pick it up if it was a good price. Some knitting needles here. Just an advertisement for Denise interchangeable knitting needles. Handicraft magazine. I have a few of those. I was looking through them recently, actually, trying to decide if I wanted to do a video on them. I like them. They have a lot of fun little crafts in them, but I think we'd probably have to do two because there's not a terrible amount in each of them. But that is the end. Oh, here's the end of the knit bear, by the way, if you were curious about that. But that is all for this issue. How pretty are these? I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you're going to make anything in here. I'd love to know if you're going to try any of these. I may have to make a teddy bear or something. I think I want to try those crocheted slippers. So I'll let you know how that goes. But please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until the next one, I hope you guys make lots of really fun, cute, festive things. And I will see you then. Bye.